Sagittarians out there, hello and welcome to these horoscopes for August 2012. What's going on for Sagittarius? But first of all, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your nice comments, for your nice comments. I want to thank you for subscribing, thanking for ordering readings and so on. This is really important for me, for encouraging me to continue this. So thank you for that. I just wanted to say that. But let's get back to your horoscope. So the horoscope for Sagittarians. I think a lot of all the mutable signs are having a bit the same thing going on this month. And the key thing for Sagittarians will also be self-worth and good aspirations. That's going to be the key, but also a bit of nostalgia, if you like that. So how does it start? Well, let's say how does it end? Because the North Node is not going to be in your sign anymore at the very end of the month. At the very end of the month, the 31st of August, it shifts into Scorpio. So for those of you who have an ascendant or planets between 0 and 2 degrees, just hurry to realign with the divine path that you're walking on. Because you've got this month to do that. That's your last chance, not last dance, but last chance for the early Sag. So that is good. So you should have made, a lot of Sagittarians should have made the shifts that they had to make, should have made the turnings to the left or to the right to be on the right path again. You should have done that during the last couple of years. And now you can put your focus on other stuff. And what is happening this month? Last month there was this Pluto-Uranus square triggered by Mars. This month, again, Pluto-Uranus square is triggered by a faster planet, and it is Venus this time. So for all signs, there is an area in their life where the Venus is triggered, and through that Pluto-Uranus square, which means that for everybody there's a kind of a transformation through love, transformation through self-worth, through value system that is been reviewed. And I think for a lot of Sagittarians, it's not only going to be relationships, it's also going to be your self-worth and worth of others that is involved, and that is going to shift and become stronger, which is a good thing. But the month starts off very nicely. It starts off around the 9th and the 10th of August with Venus in a trine with Neptune. That's beautiful. You've got Venus in your 8th house. So you've got, and that Venus rules the 11th. So is there a friend that you are becoming more intimate with? Is there a deepening of a relationship that opens you up, and it's quite spiritual because it's trining Neptune in the 4th house, the house of your core. So it goes deeply. Whoever you are involved with, it could be very nice, but also very deep. And Sagittarians mostly don't like to go that deep, but they are kind of urged to do that. That's only a couple of days, so don't worry if you're not into the depths of life. But what happens next? Of course, Jupiter is still in your 7th house. I'm not going to repeat it time after time. That is fabulous, that is good, that is, you know, your ruler in the house of the others, means that you not only need other people, but they are also going to be good. So when you're single, so yes, there is more opportunity. Jupiter means more. So opportunity for other people to come into your life. And if you're in a relationship, when it's going a bit difficult, there is a chance that it lightens up. So that's happening on background. But in the middle of the month, so there's a kind of a building up with Venus. Venus that's going to oppose Pluto, and that's going to square Uranus. So that happens in your 8th house, the opposite house, 2nd house, your house of values, or your finances, or your value system, and Uranus in the 5th. So how could you make a story around that in a general horoscope? Well, I think it simply has to do with self-worth and worth of other people, and with you trying to be a bit more creative. Uranus in the 5th house is not only about sexuality. Maybe you're trying to be a bit more creative when it concerns that, or with children. So maybe you're going to have some your children who are going to rebel against you, or maybe who are going to be very clever, very original. But I think that the team will be here self-worth, and through expressing yourself in a different way, in a Uranus way, so a bit different than other people are used to, and that can make a clash with that Mars and Saturn in your 11th house. Let's talk about that. So at the same time, when Venus is triggering that Pluto-Uranus square about your self-worth, at the same time Mars is conjuncting Saturn in your 11th. So the 11th is about friends, but also about aspirations. So it could be that there is a clash with a friend, or it could be that your aspirations, that you're frustrated about it because they're not manifesting themselves enough as you wish, or because you have difficulties with having the right aspirations. But whatever it is, it's just a couple of days and you will be fine. Why is that? That is, I'm not just saying that, but that is because Spica is involved. Now, who is Spica? There are some, well, there are a lot of fixed stars, but there are some fixed stars in horary astrology that are taken into consideration. Now, we're just doing the astrology, and when something happens with a conjunction on a fixed star, it says something about the situation. And that Mars-Saturn that is conjuncting in your 11th house, that frustrating energy that I talked about, is bang on that Spica star. And what is Spica all about? It's about you'll be fine. Very easily to say or to explain. You'll be fine. Whatever you're doing, whatever difficulties you're going to encounter, you'll be fine at the end. So that's a good thing to know. That's a good thing to know. So, and all the stuff that is going on, you know, the original way you want to express yourself, whether it is sexually, whether it is in a relationship, whether it is in your work, it's coming to a climax this month, in the middle of the month. And after that climax, around the 17th of August, there is a new moon. A new moon in Leo in your 9th house. Now, that is a very interesting new moon. Not only because it's in the 9th house, the house of Sagittarians, so it will give you the bigger picture where you're longing for naturally. Most Sagittarians, you know, they want to have the broad view, not necessarily deep, unless you have some fixed planets like Scorpio or something like that in your natal chart, but mostly you prefer the bigger picture. You want to understand everything, you know, the helicopter view. You want to understand, and you want everything to have its meaning. That's why they say it's a philosophical sign. And something is going to happen there. So there is a very clear clearing of the mind, not only because of that new moon, it's also because it's on another fixed star, and it's also because Mercury is also direct in your 9th house. So that's a lot. Let's break this down for you. Regulus is another fixed star. So yes, the fixed stars are really involved this month, during the month of August. It's at the very end of Leo, and that new moon in your 9th house is at the very end of Leo. So it's conjuncting. And Regulus is all about ambitiousness. It's about wanting to go forwards. It's about wanting success. It's not necessarily about being happy or feeling happy. It's about being very ambitious. And when it's in your 9th house, it has to do with your higher thinking. It has to do with your philosophy. It has to do with these aspirations that I was talking about, and about your self-worth. So you really are very determined to get what you want. And you will get the bigger picture. You will get a better understanding of whatever it is that is holding you back in some kind of way. So Mercury is also going direct in that 8th house as from the 8th of August, and it has been going retrograde in that house. Could have been difficulties with communication, but also with traveling. Could have been also not difficulties, but issues concerning your philosophy, concerning the way you think. Maybe you had to change that. Maybe you had to review that. Because something has happened that you totally had to change your opinions. 9th house is also your opinions and what you think. So that is very interesting, and then especially for the Sagittarians who have planets or an ascendant around 0 to 5 degrees. At the end of the month there's also something very interesting going on. The Sun shifts into Virgo at the 24th of August, and that is your 10th house. But it bumps it, so that's good. You know, the Sun in your 10th house means you're gonna shine in some kind of way in the things that you do. How other people view you, how other people see you, how other people see you is quite in the spotlight here. But it bumps into Neptune, so it's not really that clear. And so it could be that things at your work during that day are not very clear, or you're not very secure about it. But at the end of the month, and that's interesting for, again, those people in those early degrees of Sagittarius, and it is about 0 to 10 degrees, what I'm talking about now. It's at the very end of the month, the 31st of August, there is a full moon in your 4th house. And it's not just a full moon in Pisces. That full moon is conjuncting Neptune, and it's conjuncting Chiron. So whatever, and it's opposing that Sun in the 10th house. So whatever it is, it's like almost that you're going to be strong for the public, or strong how other people see you, but quite emotional and a sensitive undertone at home. Could be that. It could also be that you will love your deepest core and have compassion for your deepest core. And that is good for opening your heart at your work, in the public, the spotlight, or whatever you're doing. No matter what work you are doing. But it's that opposition between that very shiny Sun at the top of your chart and very emotional, subjective emotions at the lowest point of your chart. So there's something going on with the mirror between the 10th house and the 4th house. So your job, your career, your position in life, and the 4th house, your identity, your very core. And I think it's going to be good. It could be that's why I said nostalgia. It could be that some old stuff comes up from parents or from your roots, and it makes you a bit emotional, but you can use it maybe in your work or with your projects that you are doing. So a lot of Sagittarians now they had so many opportunities to make those shifts, and now it's all about trying to manifest them. And you will be able to do that in the next upcoming months. So take advantage of it, and I wish you all the best and a very good month for the month of August. Thank you, Sagittarians. See you soon. Bye.